Mixon traded, not released, traded to the Houston Texans. Aaron Jones now a Minnesota Viking. What to make of JJ now that the Vikes apparently have some sort of belief that Sam Darnold could be their starting quarterback. A lot to go over right now, walking into this second day of madness, free agency glory. I'm here. I'm your man, Smitty. Hit the thumb up button on the way in the door. Let's break down Joe Mixon to Houston. Let's break down Aaron Jones to Minnesota. What in the hell are the Vikings doing? And Darnell Mooney now in Atlanta might close the door on using the number 8 overall pick on a wide receiver, which in some ways excites me because I want London to get a full opportunity to be an elite number 1 wide receiver, and Adunze would probably squash that in some ways. Not entirely, but you'd make it a Nico Collins, Tank Dell situation, which is great. It's great for Cousins. It's great for the team. But Mooney signing a big fat deal, a big $39 million contract with $20+ million guaranteed, makes it very unlikely that the Falcons use number 8 on a wide receiver. So we're breaking that down and more. The Fantasy Football Show Breaking News Edition, Free Agent Frenzy Edition begins right now.
Live from the FantasyFootballShow.com studios. It's the Fantasy Football Show. Live! Monday through Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern. Smitty is also live whenever news breaks.
From the FantasyFootballShow.com news desk, here is your breaking news.
Joe Mixon has been traded to the Houston Texans. Remember, nothing was official. This is a tamper period where players and teams come to agreements, but nothing can get done and executed until Wednesday. So it looks like the Texans said, hey, we missed out on Barkley. We sat on our hands, which they totally did. I think the Texans crapped the bed. The Texans crapped the bed on trying to, maneuver too hardcore around Saquon Barkley requests or whatever the hell happened, but they should have done everything they could to get Saquon Barkley in the fold. I don't know why they didn't. Mixon is an older player turning 20. Is he 28 or 29? Ziggy, how old is Joe Mixon? I think he's 20.
Joe Mixon is 27 years old.
Yeah, he's turning 28.
Born on July 24th, 1996.
Ziggy off. He turns 28. So this is the dreaded hold your breath. I don't know if he's going to make it through the season. Eckler, 28, didn't work. Aaron Jones, 28, couldn't stay healthy. Played well, couldn't stay healthy. 28 years old is that year. Mixon enters 28. Aaron Jones enters 29. I don't know what to make of Mixon. I don't know if this is even the best fit. He'll be okay there. It's a pretty decent system for really anybody, but at the same time, there were better options. I'm just a little disappointed that Houston saw Mixon as the opportunity here, not one of these other free agent running backs. But it'll be interesting to see how it plays out. He could be worth something pretty solid in Houston if he can stay healthy. But again, 28 years old is a concern. Aaron Jones in Minnesota, what in the hell are the Vikings doing? They bring in Sam Darnold. And this report here, I believe this is the one. No, that's not the report. We'll get to that in a second. There's a report here somewhere. I don't know if I even have it on my screen anymore. Maybe it's over here. There's a report that Sam Darnold is the thinking is that the team might explore, not even guaranteed, but no one really knows who's going to reveal their plan. It'd be dumb to. But the Vikings might explore a quarterback here. They have to. If they walk out of this NFL draft without Bo Nix, J.J. McCarthy, or Penix Jr., and they try and roll with Sam Darnold, we have panic on our hands. Not total, utter panic, but...
Alert. Panic mode initiated.
A pretty significant amount of panic will ensue if we have Sam Darnold throwing footballs to J.J. Is J.J. almost quarterback proof? To a degree. but not number 1, number 2, number 3 overall type value. We're talking about a significant downgrade in touchdown opportunities. We're talking about a significant downgrade in goal line opportunities. We're talking about a significant downgrade in targets, receptions, yards. We're not talking about a guy dropping out of the top 12 overall, but we're talking about a player that would significantly take a hit if Sam Darnold was his quarterback because the offense just wouldn't move the football. So we got to hope and pray that the Vikings know what in the hell they're doing. And I would say based on what they've been doing this offseason so far, they don't look like they do know what they're doing. JJ wanted Cousins back. They didn't offer him what he wanted. They've been out on Cousins for years. Every time they come across that opportunity to maybe replace him, they contemplate it, then they go back to him. And they make Cousins feel like second choice. I don't know what the hell they're doing. I just hope to God Darnold is not the starting quarterback for the Minnesota Vikings in 2024. They better sure as hell grab one of Penix Jr., Bo Nix, or McCarthy, or this is a throwaway year, a garbage year, and a downgrade for JJ. It can't happen. You got to take a rookie QB at 11. You have to. Will the right one fall? Will they force themselves to take one they don't want? Who the hell knows? Darnell Mooney signing a massive deal. It really is a big contract. Here are the numbers. Darnell Mooney, 3 years, $39 million, including $26 million fully guaranteed. That's a large amount of money, and it makes me think 3 years, $39 million, $26 million guaranteed. Makes me think there's very little chance. You never know, but very little chance that the Atlanta Falcons use this number 8 overall pick on a wide receiver, which gives me a little pause and, I don't know, slight form of depression when I think about Odunze landing in Chicago. I'm not saying Odunze won't be very utilized or that he can't be amazing there, especially if they're throwing from behind and they don't have everything pieced together. But I don't want him there. I don't want him in Chicago. I don't want him in a failing situation. I want him to go somewhere better than that. I want Odunze to go to the Chargers. I want Odunze to go to Indy. I want Odunze to go to freaking, I don't know, maybe a team trades up for him. I look at this board and I say to myself, Odunze's going to Chicago. I could feel it. And I don't want that. I don't want that for him. I hope somehow he leapfrogs neighbors, and I think he should. I don't know that he will. I think he should. I love Odunze. I'm afraid Odunze and neighbors go to Tennessee, Chicago. Chicago, there are worse spots than Chicago, but I just don't want it. I don't want it at all. Yeah, that's a crazy Mooney deal. It's a big, large sum of money for Darnell Mooney. This one's a very interesting piece of news. The Jameson Williams show is moving over to the Cleveland Browns. $8.7 million. That's an interesting move. I really hope that the Saints go after a rookie quarterback or Fields. I really do. I want Olave to have some goodness in his life. And I feel like Justin Fields is the best player for the job, given he costs you very little. You trade for Justin Fields if you're the New Orleans Saints. This is nothing. There's no argument here. You trade for him, especially if nobody, let's say, wants him like people are projecting. You trade for him. You trade for him for a later pick. Okay, maybe you get him for a third rounder at this point. You trade for him, and you have a backup plan, at least, if you don't believe in Carr. It doesn't make any sense to avoid it. Las Vegas, same thing. I'm afraid he goes to Denver. At the end of the day, the one team I feel most capable of trading for him would be a coach that got rid of Russell Wilson, right? Needs to upgrade into something significant. I think J.J. McCarthy, if he fell, they would want him. So maybe this is a draft day trade. If Denver doesn't get the quarterback they want, maybe they make a trade for Fields on the clock. I don't really know. I feel like Denver is very capable. I think Sean Payton's very capable of bringing in this guy. I mean, this is a guy that used Taysom Hill quite a bit. So I think he's prone to being curious to the running, scrambling type. I think that maybe he is interested. I don't know if I like Fields in Denver more than Chicago, to be honest with you, because Chicago is going to fail Fields. But I don't like a team that asked their quarterback, Russell Wilson, to rescind his injury clause, or they were going to bench him and ruin his career. And I personally think that that's a violation. I personally think the Denver Broncos should be stripped of this number 12 overall pick. How do you like that? But if they were to acquire Fields, I'm better with that than him staying in Chicago, wasting away. Maybe he has a shot. No one's saying Sean Payton doesn't have certain skills, but I certainly lost a lot of respect for Sean Payton and that entire Denver organization for walking up to Russell Wilson and saying, take away your injury clause or we're benching you. The NFL stepped in, the NFLPA stepped in and said, you can't do that. That is illegal. It is in a form of extortion. I don't know that I want Fields there, but I feel like Fields, if he's got a shot at getting traded, Denver's one of those options. Minnesota felt like it until they went after Sam Darnold. Now, they're not paying Sam Darnold starter money, but they're paying him a little bit more, I'd say, than backup money, like a tad more. It feels like it could be, stopgap money. As far as Mixon to Houston, I don't know how I feel about that. He's 28 years old. I think he could seriously be dropping off hardcore in 2024 at some point. I'm just disappointed the Texans didn't go after Henry, didn't go after Aaron Jones, especially didn't go after Barkley. Those were the best running back options for the Houston Texans. And it's not a horrible move. I mean, Mixon could have another year left. It's possible. He could play well. This could be a good match. I'm not saying it's a devastating thing for the Texans by any means. I just don't know that he has a lot left. Let's go ahead and take some phone calls. Dial into the show. Appreciate you.
Call into the show. Call into the show.
Just the beginning of today. I imagine we'll be here a couple more times, just like yesterday, at least. Right now, I'm not seeing anything other than the Mixon news kind of buzzing around, the Mooney news buzzing around, the Sam Darnold news still buzzing around. Dearness Johnson is returning to the Jaguars. We've got Barrett agreeing to terms with the Dolphins. That was a big one. 1-year deal worth up to $9 million. That was a fantastic move by the Miami Dolphins. Nyheim Hines signing a 1-year deal worth $3.5 million with the Browns. Joe Mixon is due $5.75 million. Let me put this on screen. This is important numbers for the Joe Mixon situation and what Houston's looking at in terms of what they're paying the man. And we'll break this down and we'll say, is this worth it? Was this better to go this route? And I don't know, what was the late round pick that they gave up? Let me see if I can find that. Mixon is a volume play, says Mr. T. Well, he might be, but he's got to stay healthy, my guy. Joe Mixon is due $5.75 million in 2024, including $3 million roster bonus due Sunday in the last year of his contract. Instead of being cut by the Bengals, Mixon now lands in a great spot in Houston, who just lost their leading rusher, Devin Singletary, to the Giants. I don't hate it. I just don't know that he kind of felt like, he had a decent year, but he felt like walking into last year he's dropping off, and he had a pretty decent year. So you could say, hey, I don't think the drop off's totally here yet. The cliff isn't here yet, but 28 years old, massive workload, a lot of 8-man fronts for this man, waiting for this Bengal team to get good. And he spent a bunch of years getting punished and abused behind an offensive line and a team that couldn't move the football down the field and faced 8-man fronts. This guy's got a lot of mileage, a lot of rough mileage on him. So 28 years old is going to hit hard. Just like it hit hard for Aaron Jones, just like it hit hard for Austin Eckler, just like it hit hard for Kamara at the end of the year. 28 is the year of decline for a lot of running backs. Another reason why we're worried about Mixon and worried about Christian McCaffrey to a degree. Not totally. We're not avoiding McCaffrey, but we're certainly not going to put all of our eggs in one basket, are we, in McCaffrey? Because you don't want to lose 7 leagues pushing all in on McCaffrey. And he's 28 years old and getting overworked playing for a coach that injures his players in Kyle Shanahan. So we got to be careful how many times we draft him over and over. What's going on? 281 caller. Where are you calling from? What is your name, pal?
My name's Kelly. I'm calling from Houston, Texas. Just calling in on this whole Joe Mixon deal. Not the biggest fan of it. I think we could have done a lot better. Even taking someone like Braylon Allen or something like that in the draft. I don't know. Just not a big fan of his character, and I don't really see the Texans really moving a whole lot forward with him. So maybe looking 1,100 total yards, something like that, and calling it good with him. So
yeah, I agree with you. I'd much rather have like Wright. I'd much rather have a rookie like Wright or Braylon Allen.
Right. That or just keep Pierce and bring in someone like Eckler and have a scat back type and use him, for 12, 15 times a game. But I don't know. Not too fond of the move, Mr. Smitty, but appreciate all the work you do.
Yeah. Who would you rather had, Aaron Jones or Mixon?
I think that's kind of a toss-up, man. I'm a UTEP guy, but I love Aaron Jones. I love him as a person, but I think him and Mixon are both about washed by now. Not the biggest fan. Just kind of see 10 games out of him and maybe 900 total yards probably 1,100, 1,200 if he stays healthy. So nothing great. A little upgrade from Singletary is about it.
Yeah, I think Aaron Jones and Mixon both could drop off significantly this year. I mean, Aaron Jones couldn't stay healthy last year. He looked good when he came back. It took him a while to get to that point, but this is not like a player that is a lock to be healthy on it by any means.
Not at all.
Yeah.
And I just like the way that Houston's moving, and I don't agree with the whole character thing. It is what it is a long time ago, but still, I like the way that Stroud's pushing our franchise in a good direction, and just bringing in someone like Mixon just doesn't feel like the best fit for the Texans right now. But
given how
keep on listening and see what happens, man.
Yeah, given how far running backs are falling in the draft probably this year, that you might even still get a rookie. You might still get.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind getting a Brooks or something like that a little later, letting them sit again behind Mixon and really putting our push in for next year. So we'll see, man.
All right, Kelly, call in anytime, pal.
Later.
Appreciate
you.
it.
Have a good day, man. Bye.
Fields, the Giants, thanks for the super chat, FD. This is a projection. It didn't happen. Definitely what we want. This is one of the, Dable's the dream come true for Fields. The problem is, bro, I mean, maybe Dable proves he's going to do it and figure out how to fix this thing. But Dable is the best shot Fields has, period. And the Giants could take Neighbors or Dunze with this pick and prove that they are going to turn the tide. But if you're going to, the caller last night called in and said, hey, Smitty, what do you think about, the fact that, we got Danny Dimes and we're paying him, so we got to play him for a year. No, you don't. That's a mistake. That's a grave mistake. You don't play Danny Dimes. You don't use Danny Dimes because you're paying him. Maybe he's a glorified backup. It is what it is. You trade for Justin Fields. You draft Rome Odunze. You trade for Justin Fields. You draft Neighbors, even Bowers, but I'd much rather have a receiver. And then you turn this franchise around like that. But I don't know if they're smart enough in New York to do this. I really don't. If they do it, it's exactly what we've been saying and wanting. Because it's the best solution for three of these teams right here. The Washington Commanders trade for Fields, draft Marvin Harrison Jr. New England Patriots trade for Fields, draft Marvin Harrison Jr. The New York Giants won't get Marvin Harrison Jr. here, but you trade for Fields, you draft a Dunze or Neighbors. These are the three teams that should be taking Justin Fields. And we're not hearing anything on it. And it doesn't mean, and I don't feel wrong at all. I don't feel wrong one single bit. This is what I want. And I don't feel wrong one single bit when I said that Lamar Jackson was going to be gone. When he had a franchise tag of 2 first-rounders as a cost. I said he's as good as gone. He didn't go anywhere. Not one team made a move. And I wasn't wrong. Logic. This is logic. The Commanders, the Patriots, and the Giants have an obligation to their fan base to go get Justin Fields, give it a whirl, and draft a wide receiver that's available. It's ridiculous. It's the only thing to do. Did Henry just sign with the Ravens? Henry just signed with the Ravens. Unbelievable. Let me put this on screen. Henry's signing a 2-year, $16 million deal. We're going to end this live stream, come back so I have an actual compartmentalized live stream. TM, call back, okay, bro? All right, call her back. All right, so we're going to end this live stream. We're going to come right back. I want everybody to come back. I want to have a brand new video for this. I don't want to have it in the middle of this live stream. Derrick Henry to Baltimore as a Raven fan. I'm thrilled. Super Bowl, let's go, says Nico. Nico, thank you for the $5 hauler. Appreciate you guys. Okay, so I hate to leave with 313 of you in here. We're ending this live stream. We're coming right back talking Derrick Henry. See you in just a minute here.